Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. A lot has been made about Deontay Wilder after beating Dominic Brazil in the first round. A lot of guys are coming out, and especially fanboys coming out in droves, stating that everyone fears Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder would beat Anthony Joshua easily. And you know what? I think the Anthony Joshua for Deontay Wilder, I think that'll be an interesting fight, a good fight, and Deontay Wilder definitely stands a chance. With that right hand and the type of power he possesses, he always stands a chance. I would pick Anthony Joshua in that fight because Anthony Joshua is a very good boxer. He's constantly improving, and he has elite level power. Because of an accumulation of all those things, I would pick Anthony Joshua to beat Deontay Wilder. But by no means does that mean Wilder wouldn't stand a chance because he has a big right hand. But the fact that he's so deficiently flawed is going to leave him open and exposed. But the argument isn't, can Deontay Wilder beat Anthony Joshua? It isn't, can Deontay Wilder beat Anthony Joshua or vice versa? The argument is, why is Deontay Wilder ducking Anthony Joshua? Because you have to understand that regardless of who wins the fight, no one's debating winners and losers. People are more so debating why the fight isn't happening. Because at the end of the day, we all are boxing fans. We simply want to see the best fight the best. We want to see these guys get in a square circle and face off and fight each other. We want a rematch and possibly even a trilogy against two of the hardest hitting punchers in the division. That's something that every fight fan wants. That's why the fight is growing a lot of hype around it. That's why people are calling for this fight, and it's in high demand. Let's be honest and unbiased. According to Michael Benson and Sun Sport, Shelly Finkel, Deontay Wilder's manager, came out and stated that he personally will attend the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz fight with the Zone's owner, John Skipper. However, Deontay Wilder isn't going. Finkel claims that Wilder will fight Luis Ortiz first, Tyson Fury, and then Anthony Joshua. But he really didn't confirm a particular order, but I think we already know the order, because at the end of the day, Tyson Fury's not facing Deontay Wilder next. That's an even harder fight to make, because at the end of the day, Tyson Fury stated that he wanted 2 tune-ups before he fought Deontay Wilder. So based off his words alone, he still has, after he completes this fight, he still has one more fight before he faces Deontay Wilder. And so then when you look at Luis Ortiz, he's the guy that came in the ring after Wilder's most recent fight. He's the guy that called out Wilder. He's the guy that all the speculation has been about. And Luis Ortiz, the reason why he turned down $7 million for an Anthony Joshua fight is to fight a Deontay Wilder in a rematch. Deontay Wilder already stated, why shouldn't me and Luis Ortiz have 2 or 3 fights? He wants 2 or 3 fights with a guy who's never been world champion, a guy who's over 40 years old, and a guy who has blood pressure issues. He doesn't want to fight with an elite level, hungry world champion, unified champion like Anthony Joshua. It's simple what Deontay Wilder is doing, and that's clout chasing. Let's be honest and unbiased. And this is why he's clout chasing. And Anthony Joshua confirms basically in a statement that he believes the same thing. And this is according to Michael Benson as well. Anthony Joshua stated in regards to Deontay Wilder, he said he wanted to fight me for so long. Now, unless he does, I'm looking at it as a PR campaign to build his name off my back. He talks about it, me all the time, but does he live up to it? Does he? Doesn't he fight for what he believes in? Because he simply doesn't believe in. He simply doesn't want to face Anthony Joshua. He simply does not want that work. He's simply a clout chaser, and that's all he wants from his fights. He just wants to chase for clout. And it's not even really about the money, because he turned down over $100 million, and some reports even say $120 million. So let's be honest and unbiased. You're going to have a lot of fanboy offers say, oh, there were lowball offers. How do you lowball your career high paydays? How is that a lowball? How does that make sense? How is turning down over $100 million plus, $120 million plus? He stated that Anthony Joshua was begging him for a fight in April, and this was in 2018 of December. So if Anthony Joshua is begging you for a fight, and it's not even about the money, because you don't care about the money at that point, you just like the fact that he's begging, you're clout chasing. Then he comes out and states that, that Anthony Joshua was desperate and he calls the shot. How do you call the shots? And you have one belt, you've been boxing for 11 years, and you're the notorious bum slayer. You beat an old Ortiz, and you pretty much lost to Fury, but Fury got robbed and he should be the real WBC heavyweight champion. And everyone knows it. He got completely outboxed for 10 rounds, and Fury took his best shots and got up. So everyone says that Deontay Wilder is the hardest puncher. He's the strongest guy. He puts guys down. Yeah, you can do that to Dominic Breazeale, but what about a guy that's at the top level like Tyson Fury that got up twice? What about a guy like Luis Ortiz that got up? See, you notice a trend that guys, as he reaches higher levels of competition, guys tend to get up. They don't tend to stay down after that big shot. Yes, Deontay Wilder can finish someone the caliber of, Dominic Breazeale in the first round, but he couldn't finish someone the caliber of an old Luis Ortiz in the first round. It took him, 10 rounds? It took him 12 rounds to dispatch of Tyson Fury, and he couldn't even do it. Tyson Fury went through the entire fight and outboxed him for at least 10 rounds and got up from his two biggest shots. Let's be honest and unbiased. Deontay Wilder's a clout chaser. He's overrated. Yes, it was a spectacular knockout, and you can't take anything from the entertainment value of it from what he did to Dominic Breazeale. You can't take anything away from the entertainment value of the knockout that he did against Bermane Stiverne. But let's be honest and unbiased. It's levels in boxing. And so unless he does that against a level of competition such as a Dillian White, a guy who's proven to be one of the best boxers in the world, a Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua, one of the top levels of boxing, then there's no one else. Those are the top three right there that he has to knock out in dramatic fashion to get that type of acclaim. Because other than that, he's just clout chasing. He's clout chasing off Anthony Joshua's name. It's just, you just have to be honest and unbiased. According to CBS and ESPN, Deontay Wilder was guaranteed to earn about $4 million, while Tyson Fury was guaranteed to earn about $3 million, and the rest would come for pay-per-views. But you turned down $100 million payday from Anthony Joshua, and some reports are saying $120 million payday. How is that not ducking? How is not mentioning Anthony Joshua's name every chance you get, but turning down record-changing, life-changing money? You have to be honest and unbiased. This is according to ESPN. The second version of the zone offer, and this is according to ESPN, sources said they would have paid Deontay Wilder $20 million to fight Dominic Breazeale. They would have overpaid to $20 million to fight Dominic Breazeale. And if you notice that Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Breazeale purses have not been released to the public. I wonder why. Because these guys weren't making anywhere near $20 million. He looks like a complete idiot for turning down that type of offer, that type of money. And the only reason they were paying so much money for the Breazeale fight was simply just to get him on the zone so he can face AJ. So that's really that's a bonus of $18 million to face AJ, and they're just throwing it in under the Breazeale name. Then you get $40 million for the first Joshua fight, $20 million against another opponent to be determined. And then he get another $40 million for a rematch with Anthony Joshua. That's $120 million. And that's the second version of the DAZN offer. So, these guys are giving him big paydays, the first version. And, he had multiple versions on the table. This is record-changing, life-changing money. So it doesn't make any sense why Deontay Wilder is rejecting it. It doesn't make any sense why he keeps calling Anthony Joshua's names and keeps doing the opposite. And it's simply because he's a clout chaser. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.